Hey y'all. Hello. I am here. And y'all, boy, me and my timing. Let me see. Somebody texted me. All right, I am here, you all. Let me know you are here and put something in the comments so I know that you all are here. I am going to talk today about in-kind services. It looks like it's kind of dark in here. Let me see how this light will work. I just turned it on, but it was almost too light. Okay, maybe that's better. Can y'all see me? I don't know why I can't see if you all making comments or what have you, but hopefully you are. Okay, so hopefully y'all see me. Hello, Society of Elite. Yep, elite resume writers and coaches. We are the elite. What's up with my necklace is all mixed up. Um, so are you all here? Hello, let me know y'all here. I guess let me go on my phone. Maybe I can see it better there. Oh, good. I see y'all. Hey. Okay, I see y'all. I don't know why I can't see you all on my computer, but I can see you all here. So, hey, Kimberly, Nairobi, Christy, and Marlo. And this actually, I'm so glad that Christy is here because this actually came out of a question that Christy posed to me. So I said, looks like this is going to be a really good topic because we as what my topic today is all about in-kind services and how you can make sure you are getting credit for what you are doing when you're doing things pro bono. As resume writers and career coaches, we get asked a lot to do things for free because they say, they want you to get promoted. You want to promote yourself as part of branding and marketing yourself to get yourself out there. And we get excited. We say, yes, in a minute. Trust me, I've been there. And that's part of the way I did build my brand and my following is because I was out. And I mean, doing all kinds of free things. Now, here's what happened about 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago. I learned about in-kind services. And I'm like, okay, well, what are in-kind services? So what in-kind services is that you can, if you go do something pro bono for free for organization, they would give you in-kind services because they are nine times out of 10, they are not going to pay you. Most of them are nonprofits or organizations. Like I've spoken to the PMI organizations. I've spoken to oh gosh, all kinds of churches I've done with their career ministries. I've done all kinds of things like that where I would go in and teach resume writing, LinkedIn prep, interviewing, networking out. I mean, it doesn't matter what it was, all in the vein of career development. I was going around on the circuit often teaching and even for some chambers, and they don't necessarily pay you. But what you could do is ask for an in-kind service contract to be signed. Now, here's what that means is that, okay, if you say your services to go speak for a nonprofit, because I always have a nonprofit rate if they do have some money to pay, because one did pay me. And then I have a profit rate for people who are not nonprofits, if that makes sense. So what I would do is say, okay, is there something that you could do for me in kind? So if I'm going to speak to a group, that I am going to charge them what I think my worth is for doing that actual event for. So if it's a resume workshop or resume talk for about 30 to 45 minutes with question answer, so you're going to be an hour, and probably sometimes you're going to have a preparation, maybe 3 to 4 hours holistically. You can have them to sign a contract and put a value on that. Now, here's what's beneficial for you to do something like that. You can write off on your taxes. Yes, you can write that off on your taxes. So it's a tax savings. And sometimes some organization will say, well, in kind services, what we would give to you is promotion, which is marketing, which is great because if they have a huge organization, like I will speak for PMI, And I'll tell y'all a story about that. I kind of quit them after a while. But anyway, for the PMI Institute here locally, they, charge a lot of money for their membership, but they never had any money. But what they would do is promote me to the organization, promote me to all their members, market the event and all that kind of stuff in hopes that I would get business for it. I did that for several years and I quit them. You know why? Because it really didn't generate anything for me. But what I am doing now, and which I have been doing, is trying to do more of a barter type of situation. If they don't have anything to pay you, write out that contract and have them sign a contract for your services. Like, for example, right now, I am going to be speaking for Volunteer McKinney for their executive leadership. It's all executive directors. From what I understand, it's going to be about 50 to 75 people there, and it is pro bono. I said, that will be fine. I said, but I'm going to send you a contract for in-kind services because these are senior leaders of nonprofits. And she said they just don't have money, but they really need not just a speech on LinkedIn. They want a 3-hour workshop. So I'm going to be teaching them how to develop their own personal profiles and also their nonprofit profiles. I think they have to choose one or the other. I think that's how she has it set up. She said, we know you can't do both, but they have to choose which one they're going to set up. And in that case, I'm thinking I'm going to charge them probably $10,000 to $25,000 in an in-kind, meaning that I can get to write that off at the end of the year for my taxes, give it to my tax. I don't know how to tax. I'm not a tax person, but I can write it off. They'll take it and they'll do whatever adjustment, and it will make my income look better for the year. Hence, going back to my 6-figure club that I'm running right now. And we had an awesome session on yesterday. So it's about how do you get that money and keep that money. So I have, and you can find in-kind contracts all over the internet. And what I would do, depending on the type of organization you're going to go speak for, you can ask ChatGPT or your Copilot or whoever you use to create one for you and tweak it for yourself and keep reusing it over and over again. But I did pull up some things that I did want to make sure that I mentioned. So when you're talking about in-kind services, you want to make sure that anytime that they're asking you to speak, that for free, where they will not pay you, the first thing, of course, you want to see if they have any kind of money, like $100, $250, or what have you, to give you something for your time. Or if you have written books, like one of the things I've done as well, I have my books. So if they can't afford it, say, well, can you buy books and give them away or something like that? But if not, then I want a contract signed, and I'm going to put in the value of me teaching this, especially this 3-hour workshop. So I give them the contract. They sign the contract because it is in-kind services and it is all legal. So you can look it up. So first, I got 5 tips here. So um uh when you're thinking about your service, clearly define what services you are going to offer for in kind. This could be your resume writing services, any kind of career coaching type of services. And even this month, we're doing a lot of it's volunteer month, and I thought I was going to be able to participate, but it's volunteer month to be a volunteer coach or what have you. And you can write that kind of stuff off because you're participating in a major event, and tell your accountant to do that. You don't necessarily always have to have a contract, but if you do that, you can get that written off as well. And then you want to make sure that you look for organizations or events where your services can add value. And then you can go and do that. Now, yes, sometimes you will get some customers, but from my experience, we really don't get a lot of those customers. We put a lot of time in those resume reviews. I've done several of those. I'm to the point in my career as a resume writer and coach. I don't do a lot of that stuff anymore. It has to be very high level for me to do it because I felt I've already built my brand. I already have a great following, and that's not something that I need to do. But if I am going to go to do something like a job fair, career fair, workshop, or anything like that, you want to make sure that it's worth your while. If they cannot pay you, but I still want you to please, please, please ask, what is their budget? Because sometimes they do have small budgets. I did a I did a whole recording on a resume workshop for a library in California, and they had a very small budget, and all I had to do was sit down and record a 30-minute, 35-minute resume review for their toolkit for their library. I did that, and it was so funny because one of my clients, she's a librarian, and she's like, I know her. She did my resume. So yeah, so it was something that was all for librarians in California, and they paid me $500. That was it. That's all they paid me. But $500 to record something I know off the top of my head, not too bad. So don't automatically shy away of asking if they have don't have a budget. Don't automatically assume that they don't have any money. But after you get over that hurdle, the next best thing for you is to ask for in-kind services contract. Ask if they will be willing to sign that. Most nonprofits know what that is. If they do not, you educate them. Say, in exchange for my services, you fill this out because it's in kind services, and I can write this off on my taxes because I've given you my time to elevate your nonprofit at no cost to you, but cost to me of my time, my knowledge, and my effort. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And then you want to make sure that you're establishing, of course, clear expectations. Make sure both know what you're getting and giving so there's no misunderstanding, because I've also seen project creep, even when you're speaking for nonprofits, because one time they say, okay, you're going to come here and sell your books, but and by the way, I want you to review their resumes. And oh, by the way, I want you to do a workshop. I'm like, that's wait a minute, that's too much for free. And that's a lot more time. So you want to make sure that you're very clear on what you're getting into when you're doing those things. And then you want to document everything. So you want to keep a great record of all of your in-kind services that you provide. And I even got another way on how you could do this even better. But keep a record of all in-kind services that you provide, because it will help you with your accounting records. It'll help you with your taxes, and also tracking the impact that you've made with that organization. So that is an absolute must. You want to keep track of that. What is going on? Like when I go to the nonprofit and do that, I go there next week on Tuesday. I not only want to give them that information, I want to see what the impact is to with my knowledge and sharing and helping them get their paid personal pages as an executive director, executive leader of that nonprofit. Also their company page. If they do that, I'm going to be tracking that. I want to see, how did it go from wherever, how many people you have to that. So they're going to give me the whole list, and I'm going to review all of that, because you want to know what kind of impact. So you want to have a range on that. And if I got to follow up with the lady, see how many people are signed up, because if it's like 50 people signed up, you know how much money that could be at an actual 3-hour workshop for 50 executive leaders. That's a lot of money for a corporation. But because it's a nonprofit and they don't budget at all for any kind of learning and development, we did have that conversation, because I'm pushing a ticket that they need to start teaching them to have that budget, so I can be the go-to person right here in McKinney, because that's 50 to 75 different nonprofits that I could potentially make an impact in and be their go-to person financially, so they can pay me something. Even if they pay me $500, that's 50 different institutions. That could be a heck of a lot of money. So that's what I'm going to be. We're trying to push that, because she's over the whole thing. But yeah, so that's another thing. Anyway, so you want to review and improve. So I have reviewed and improved since then, making sure that I am getting compensated by way of an in-service contract for anything that I'm volunteering for. Because when I think about all the things I have given away over the years, speaking on panels and all these things, and they always come to you, well, can you do this and can you do that? I'm like, at this point in my life and career, I don't do hardly any. I don't even know when the last time I did a pro bono. So what I do now, because I know some of my platinum members are, rebuilding their brand, I am giving those away. So my platinum members, I'm like, here, you can have this. Go and make that connection and build up your brand and that connection. And maybe you'll get a couple of clients, which, they have, which is great. But for me, I just don't do that anymore. But this one I jumped over because of how major it is. And they're doing a whole bunch of marketing, which is nice also. But I want you all to do that. But make sure that you're thinking about, what is my service worth? If I was to go do an actual thing and start, you know what, y'all, I always try, it's better to be ready than to try to get ready, right? So make sure you have some kind of idea of a range on what you would charge for your workshop should it be a nonprofit. Yes, again, I do different prices, because nonprofits, they have to raise their money. Corporations, oh yeah, they're gonna pay. So you want to make sure that you have a different price point for that, and get ready now. So when you are thinking about that, or somebody approaches you, you can have that conversation. But you always want to say, ask them first, do you have a budget? And they say, well, no, I don't have a budget. We don't have any money for that. Then you will say, okay, well, here's one of the things that I like to offer in order for me to do that. And most of them will be willing. I don't think nobody will say no because, again, they want you to come and do that free service for them. Have them sign that contract and you just give it to your accountant for your taxes and stuff. Now, again, I am not a tax professional. I am not an accountant, but baby, bye. I want to make sure I get every credit that I can because those are actual valuable services. You're elevating that organization. You're elevating that group of people that you're speaking to. Don't just let it slip past you. And so, yeah, so I want to see what kind of questions that I have. Let me see. Yes. Let me see. So I wish I could join you. Oh, wow. Okay, Linda. Thank you. Let me see. So yes. Okay, Tammy. Oh, can you give us an income? You know what? I just put it in the Nairobi. Put it in the Chat GPT because it's gonna be a little. You're gonna have to tweak it to what your liking is. So I do the same thing and just pull it off of Chat GPT and just pull it together. That's basically all I did. But I want you to just go to Chat GPT or whatever AI provider that you use and ask them to create ask it to create an in-kind services contract for you. And what's nice about it, it crosses all of the documents that are on there because there's tons of samples in Google Images, and if you use Bing Images or Yahoo, you can find images for different ones. Instead of doing that, just have ChatGPT create one for you and you tweak it. And you just want to make sure it doesn't have to be all elaborate, 4 or 5 pages. You just want to state what service that you're giving, what the date is, what the name of the organization is, and what value do you place on that service. Is it a 45-minute talk with 15-minute Q&A? Are you going to be there for a half a day doing a job service and doing resume reviews? Not just setting up a booth to sell your services. That's totally different. But if they ask you to review resumes as well, that's when you can do in-kind services. But if you're going to go as a service provider and purchase a booth or something like that, you could write off the purchase of the booth, but it's not an in-kind services where you would get a contract, have them sign a contract. But if you're doing something additional, like I got to actually respond back to this other lady I'm going to give to my platinum member too. But what it is that they want you to come and speak to, like I did this one that was virtual, engineers and all this kind of stuff. Now they're asking for somebody to come in person. I ain't doing that, y'all. No, I'm not doing that. So therefore, I'm going to pass it on so that it's local. If it was widespread, I can just give it to you all too. But it's really for a local person here in North Dallas to go out and actually be in that place and get recognition and get publicity and stuff like that. I've done it for her for a couple of years, and I spoke to PMI for so many years that I got mad with them and I quit them. I said, no, I'm not doing nothing for you all ever again because they charge a lot of money for their membership. And I'm like, y'all never have any money. I know it's a volunteer organization, but it's not necessarily nonprofit. They charge for everything. The conferences, they charge for all kinds of stuff. And I said, y'all never can find money for me as many times. And the jobs I helped your people get. I said, no, I won't do this anymore. So I don't even do it anymore. So no, but I did connect them with a person who's now going to build up their brand. So I gave it on over to a member. So let me see. Okay, that's great, Marlo. Yep, having a meet with a nonprofit on Thursday. Yes, ma'am. So start thinking about it and have your little rate sheet on how much you're going to charge in your range because your time is worth it. And you want to make sure that you're getting paid for what all the information that you're giving to them. That's what I don't want you all to miss out on that money because it is a way for you to get to or beyond 6 figures because you can write that stuff off. Y'all, we got to get smart with our money. If all of these millionaires are skipping on taxes and all this kind of stuff, they are legal, always legal, ways to take advantage of some of that stuff. Don't just think that you just have to go with the norm. You have to educate yourself from a financial perspective. I'm not a financial guru. I'm learning too, to make sure that you can get these things done for yourself. So I want to see if I have any questions. What questions? Let me go back to the live. Let's see. Any questions? Any questions, y'all? Let me see. Let me go back to my comments. Okay, great. I'm glad this is great, Nairobi. Yeah, so that's what you all do. Yeah, so make sure you're doing that. Get that money written off. Because I'm telling you, once I get the final numbers, when I was talking to Christy, when Christy asked me to review something for her, I said, girl, yeah, one thing you better ask for is an in-kind service. She said, I had no idea they even existed. I said, it sounds like a Tuesday live topic then. So that's why I'm talking about it, because I want to make sure that you all take advantage of that when people do ask you to do stuff on contract and for free. Because trust me, the first couple of years of my business, I did so much free stuff that a lot of times people come to me as referral clients, that because they remember when I spoke somewhere. Because you're talking about hustle mode, I hustled in order to get my name out there, my brand out there, and my services. And now I'm to the point that I only will now at this point accept highly paid speaking engagements, and I'll do highly visible type of pro bono like this one, because I'm talking to the top dogs. I'm teaching the top dogs at these nonprofits who I'm going to influence about developing a budget when they start asking for this money for development, and I want to be their service provider. So that's my strategy on when I'm getting there, and I can teach y'all all about that too. Okay, so but anyway, but this today is just about making sure that you get that. Let me see. All right, so I think that's all. Okay, and Chris said, she said need to hear this but double booked. Okay, but y'all come back and watch the replay. Oh, I have to sneeze. Uh I'm so sorry, y'all. This is live. I'm sneezing. But anyway, so I hope this was helpful. So look up in kind services. And there was a great article that I did find. I'm going to see if I can find that article so you could read up on it. But again, just go out to ChatGPT, ask it to build you a contract and get that stuff ready. So when you are asked to give your services for free, that you have a price tag on what you will charge. That's reasonable for a nonprofit. Remember, you want to have a profit rate and you want to have a nonprofit rate, because you can like if I was to charge a $500 speaking engagement for a nonprofit, for a profit I probably charge them 2,500 or so. So it all depends on what it is and how big that organization is. So you kind of want to have like a tiering, or I would charge this amount based on what it is. But for executive leaders, no, because for a business, it's $1,500 all day long just to even speak. So I'm like, and it's 50 of them. Oh yeah, they about to get charged, but not for real money, but money I can use to write off on my taxes. So I hope this was helpful, y'all. I'm enjoying these. Oh, thank you, Nairobi. Yes, because I know you do a lot of speaking as well. But no, let's get this money. And I'm so glad that Christy asked the question, because I never really even thought about it being a great topic to educate you all, because I'm trying to figure out how I can help leverage what I know to help you all move your business forward. Now, although we already did 1 week as of yesterday, it's every Monday for the Six Figure Club, you still have a chance to join. And because we have 7 weeks left and everything was recorded, and the whole I have everything in the folder in the Google Drive, so you can get access to it and watch it, because homework has been given, and yeah, it was great. So if you're interested in that, you all go ahead and click on that link within the group. Yep. Yes, got to get this money and write off on your taxes, y'all. Shoot, I'm tired of paying taxes. I always owe. I'm tired of owing. But anyway, so that will help you with your taxes. And especially if you're thinking about trying to get to six figures, you want to retain as much as of your income as possible. Let me see. I was going to say, okay, yeah, I think that's all my little tips. Okay. So hopefully this was helpful. If you all have additional questions, just put them in the chat, especially if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. I will upload this to our YouTube channel. So remember, we do have a YouTube channel, and I'll keep making sure I put them up there as well. The YouTube channel was created mostly for our courses because I needed somewhere to host them. So all of those videos are private. But when I do lives like this or general stuff, I will make sure that it's moved over to our YouTube channel as well. And even when I have, yeah, so I'll do that. So our YouTube channel is Society of Elite Resume Writers and Coaches. All right, y'all. So good to be with you all.